So a very warm welcome to Jersey, Echo Golf Juliet Juliet. We're in the Cockspur Citation Jet C510 Mustang, and we're sitting on the in the private area, Jersey Airport, with the red carpet out, the doors open, the baggage bays open, the chocks on, the covers on, and this lovely Rolls Royce something or other sitting here for our VIP that we're going to be taking today to Southend, Echo Golf Mike Charlie. And we're not going to do much fanfare today, but let's have a quick look at the route. So we go to Navigraph charts. So we've got a departure. Well, it was of course it's changed, hasn't it? Of course it has. Originally, well, it was planned for 2.6, but now it seems to, I don't know, we'll see what ATC gives us. We're going to use Beyond ATC today, but if it's 2.6, it's a more interesting departure. It'll give us more of a chance to climb higher, because it's a very short departure, takes you to waypoint LUSIT, and then the route takes you over Cherbourg and out to waypoint NEVIL, and then we pick up this really long star, the Navy 1 Sierra from NEVIL, and you got a bit NEVIL at flight level 220. So I was rather hoping that we might get the westerly runway, because that's give us more of a chance to get to flight level 220. But anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll just play it a little bit by ear. There's lots of staged descents all the way through this, and we're going to pick up the ILS for runway 3 at Southend. Okay, so we've fueled up. SimBrief is telling us something like 708 kilos of fuel. I've got 712 or something like that on board. So let's close the aircraft up and get going. So the first thing we want to do is to get the chocks off. We just check the parking brakes on. Yeah, parking brakes on. So chocks off, and engine covers can come off. Pitter covers can come off. The red carpet can come off, which means that our passenger is on board, and we won't have a co-pilot. And we've got, let's go for 2 passengers today. And the cargo doors are open, the one at the rear as well. I don't know, maybe it doesn't open, I don't know. Let's have a co-pilot chocks. No, maybe not. So we'll close the nose compartment. There we go. So now the aircraft is ready to go. Just got to close the door, and I'll do that just by nipping into the back. And let's have a look. So you've got to close the door. Got to pull up, I think, the step, is it? Where's the click spot? There it is. Okay, so this is the Cockspur Citation Mustang. It's rather nicely modelled. We've got a privacy curtain, then we've got a loo. Let's get rid of the privacy curtain, not that I know how. Go away, there we go. And then we've got some club seating in the back. Window blinds work. So the modelling is nice, and some of the features are nice, but it really does need a refresh, because there are a lot of issues with this aircraft. It handles beautifully, and I hope Cockspur are listening, because this aircraft deserves better. It really does. Things like the instrumentation and systems on the main display are not accurate. The trim here clips, as you can see, clips the wood surround, so that's not very good. And there are one or two other things. So I think some of the switches don't work in the right sense. We're not going to worry about it. It's still very nice to fly. So let's look at the route. We'll go to Navigraph charts, and we're going to enter the route not through the the Garmin 1000. We're going to use the GTN 750 to do that. And so we've got the departure. We'll see what ATC give us. So we'll have LUSIT, BENIX, EPARTY, ANGLO and NEVIL, and then we'll add the stars, the SID and the stars. So I'm going to take this off the screen. I'll see it, you won't. So first thing to do is to get the emergency battery on. We're going to get the nav light, and we're going to get passenger signs on. And we can get some cockpit lighting. Not that we really need it today, because it's actually, it seems to be summer finally. I'm going to just switch that main screen on. To operate this one here, unlike the Phenom, there are no buttons around the bezel. There are the soft buttons, but no knobs and things to actually operate this. To operate this, you need to get to this little panel here, and the alphanumerics and numbers don't actually work, but the flight plan knobs and buttons up here do. So yeah, Cockspur, please sort this out. And there's not very few functional buttons on this side of the aircraft, and really it deserves better. Oxygen can come on, and let's get the flight plan in. So let me pull up the GTN. Takes a second or two to appear. Okay, so flight origin is Echo Golf Juliet Juliet, enter. Destination is Echo Golf Mike Charlie, enter. We'll add a waypoint, so we'll add LUSIT USIT, T, thank you, T. And then we'll add BENIX, so BENIX, and then we'll add AKIKI, I think it is, so AKIKI. I must have got that wrong. AKIKI. My apologies. So there we go. And another waypoint is going to be EPARTY. And another waypoint, ANGLO. And the last one will be NEVIL, which is actually the start of the star. So NEVIL. Okay, and so that's all pretty much done. Click on that, click on this. We need to get the ATIS, so I'm just going to switch on the ATIS quickly.
Jersey Airport Information November 1148 Zulu. Wind 000 at 5 few clouds at 2100. Temperature 18. Dew point 14. QNH 1019. Landing and departing runway 08. Transition level 050. 5G notice in effect. Advise on initial contact. You have information.
Okay, so let's switch the runway on us. So we're going to go to 08, and let's have a look at the departures. So it's going to be just a very straightforward. Okay, I don't think we're going to get to any great altitude, but never mind. We'll work with that. So departure is the, oops, I forgot what it is. It is the Lucy 1 Bravo. So Lucy 1 Bravo. Lucy 1 Bravo. Runway 08 will load. And we need procedures So arrival is going to be the NEVIL 1 Sierra. Transition, okay, so just that, and then we do ILS 23 with the GEGMU transition, and we'll load that. So it's all loaded, and if you operate the Garmin 1000 through this, it all works very beautifully. So I'm happy with that. So that's all now set. So we need to get off clearance, so let me do that now.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, request IFR clearance to Southend Airport.
Let me switch the
Gulf
avionics
Air
on.
Bravo Sierra, Jersey ground. Expect runway 08, LUSIT 1 Bravo departure. Squawk for 222.
Okay, so code.
LUSIT 1 Bravo departure.
So just go back.
Squawk
So
for 222.
transponder
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
code
Gulf Air
4222,
Bravo Sierra, read back correct.
and we'll
Call
do
me back when
altitude
ready for
reporting.
start or taxi.
And we need to go to
Roger that. Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
PFD options. We need to change it to HPA for millibars, and it is 1019. I'm just going to press B. There we go, 1019, and I'm going to set the heading bug so it's on runway 08. So that is just going to click and hold the altitude. I just need to review the departure chart. There we go. So 08 is set. 080, and let's look at the departure chart very quickly. Bring it across. So this one is not the right one. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah. So it's still LUSIT at 5,000. So that'll be our initial altitude. So we'll dial that one in, and maybe they'll even get us to climb a bit higher than that. I don't think we're going to make 22,000 for whatever that first waypoint was called. So 5,000 set on the QNH1019, and we've got our squawk. So we're just going to ask it to start up.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, at ramp for 5, request engine start.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, engine start approved. Call when ready for taxi.
Wilco, engine start approved. Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
I don't know why I've got a call sign Gulf Air Bravo Sierra. That's not quite right. But let's not worry about it. So beacon light can come on. We should just check. So we're clear on the left and we're clear on the right. Have we got any passengers on board? Why have we no passengers on board? 2. I want 2. Let's have a look. No. Right, well, we got 1. There we go. That'll do. So we got the chap in the back. I'll just switch off this little mobile, and we can start number 2. So fuel is on normal on both. We got the beacon, so we just hit the starter, and there goes the N2. Put the fuel on. Okay, so we've got fuel flow, we've got ignition, and the big fan is turning. There it goes. $19.20 on the M1. Lovely. Okay, so starter is out. Fuel is on. Sorry, on normal for number 1, and so 2, 4, 5. Fuel can come on. So we've got light up, fuel flow obviously, N1, big fan is turning, pressure and temperature coming up on number 1 as well. Both pressure in the green and temperature in the green. So good start on both. Starter is out, so we can just set things like pitot-static, anti-skid, passenger signs are on, and we can get the there's not much in the way of air conditioning here to do. Not quite sure what that one does. We'll put it on. So we're ready to go. Flap one stage. Now you see all these systems here, these are not accurate. This is not like the Citation Mustang, so it really does need some work. So mate, we've got takeoff flap selected. We'll get the flight director on, and there is a speed brake on this thing here, and right, let's get taxi. So request taxi to runway.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, request taxi to the active.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, runway 08 taxi via Juliet, Bravo.
Runway 08 taxi via Juliet, Bravo, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
Okay, so I had the CAS message that the generators weren't on, so I needed to switch those on, and the battery needed to go from emergency to main. Okay, so we're good to taxi, so let's do taxi light. One stage of flap is out, so we can taxi. Lovely, so it's taxi round to the threshold of 08. So let's get the parking brake in. Okay, and let's give it some welly. No, this happened yesterday. I accidentally clicked the toga go around, and for some reason if you do that, it seems to have auto throttles. So I must try and avoid hitting the toga go around on my honeycomb. Yeah, I know what to do now anyway, if I do. So we've got Blue Islands ATR, British Airways A319, is it? Yep. There's a A319 Squeezy. This is a bit faster than walking pace. I walk very quickly. Follow the old taxi route, the yellow brick road. There's no takeoff config, I don't think, in this aircraft. You can't even see where the trims are. It warrants some work. Not cheap, this aircraft, and it could be so nice.
Contact Jersey Tower 119 decimal for 55.
Over to Tower 119 decimal for 55 Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
But we're going to climb on flight level change. We're going to take up the nav. Oops, hang on. I want to stop here. So request departure.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, ready for departure, runway 08.
So flight level change.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, Jersey Tower, wind 000 at 5, runway 08, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 08 cleared for takeoff, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
Just setting the flight level change. Got to 130 to take off. Okay, so landing light can come on, strobe light can come on. Let's get the old yokes back on there. threshold of 08. Okay, so let's get the old timer on. Timer, hide the, don't get to start, press enter, and let's get the flight plan on, and we'll get rid of the flashy cursor. Okay, so we're good to go. So we've got our flight director showing us what to do. So let's spool up the engines. We want to go to takeoff. Takeoff we have. Should be a bit more sprightly than it was the other day in Las Vegas. It was a little underwhelming, but it was very hot. So anyway, yeah, you can see it's actually performing a lot better. 70 knots, 80 knots, 85, 90, rotate, there we go. Pull back gently and positive rate, so the gear can come up. Follow that flight director. Okay, so we're going to fly on the autopilot, which is what these aircraft are designed to do. Autopilot, yaw damper, just check, flight level change and nav is on. So we have those both in. Flaps can come up.
Contact Jersey Control Departure
Flaps are up.
125.205.
Contact Jersey Control Departure 125.205 Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
And we're going to go up to 150 for the climb. See how high we can get.
Jersey Control, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, good day, 1,800 feet.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, Jersey Control Departure. Good day. Identified. Climb to flight level 110.
Climb to flight level 110 Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
Okay, so flight level 110 set and checked. We're in takeoff mode, so we'll go to climb, so pull back on the throttles a little bit. There we go, we're on, oops, climb, there we go. So 89.6%, we're climbing at 150, nice healthy rate, 2,400. That is a lot better than the other day, but you'd expect it to be because it's not quite so hot here. Let's have a quick look at the outside. It's a lovely, lovely model. I've got a big soft spot for this aircraft, the Mustang. It was my first bizjet type in FSX when Flight 1 brought it out, so you know, I do like it a lot. It just needs updating. Please, Cockspur, can you do that? Because you can't just leave a product unfinished. That would be not so nice. Right then, so we're passing 5,700. We're above the transition, so we can do Barrow, so PFT options, standard Barrow. Click the soft key, there we go, standard Barrow, and the aircraft is now following the LNAV from the Garmin, which we operated via the GTN 750. We're going to center our heading bug just by clicking the heading knob like that, and yeah, it's okay. So 2,450 feet per minute. I wonder how high we can get. So you've got these very nifty, well, nifty, I don't know if that's the right word to use, sunshades that the aircraft has.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, contact breast control 120.15.
Captain's side somewhere. There it is.
Contact breast control 120.15 Gulf Air Bravo Sierra. Breast control, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra. Good
Sync
day.
the
Leaving flight
heading
level
knob,
086
heading
for flight
bug.
level 110.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, Brest control, identifié, climb to flight level 220.
220. Right.
Climb to flight level 220 Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
So just dialing in 220. We've chosen 220 because that's the entry altitude of the star. So 220 set and checked, and we're climbing. We're above 10,000. Landing lights can come off, and passenger signs can come off as well. So, oi, you in the back, make yourself comfortable. So, in the Flight 1 Mustang, you had these drawers you could actually open. There was like bottles of scotch and snacks and stuff in them, which was quite a nice touch. So let's have a quick look outside. So it is a very nice model. The rubber boots are done particularly well on the wings for those little fences. This is the High Sierra edition of the Mustang. I think it's a more comfy interior. I don't know, black leather, something nicer than standard. Okay, so let's try and zoom out on this map. Okay, and it's got a very nice large central display, and that's just super. But unfortunately, there are no knobs and things around the bezel of the Garmin, so you've got to use these here. So to zoom in and out, it's this one here, the one on the right, top right. Put your cursor on the top and then just roll the wheel of the mouse. So we're just zooming out now. Okay. So we're going to stick at 150, because that'll give us a nice rate of climb. We're still climbing at nearly 2,000 feet per minute, which I like. And we just need to set the heading bug. There we go. We've got a bit of a tailwind. That's not going to help, because of course we're going to get to, where is that waypoint called? Well, just past LUSIT. What is it? NEVIL, was it? I think NEVIL. Yeah, we're going to get to NEVIL sooner with the tailwind. But anyway, yeah. There were, now look now. Runway 08's got a 7-knot tailwind. So we should have stuck on 26. I mean, what were they thinking? Anyway, I laugh. But it does deserve a little bit more, this aircraft. A bit of TLC from the developer, that would be very welcome. It really would. So we've got active sky, so expect a little bit of turbulence maybe when we get into the clouds, but it's all very good. Let's have a quick brief on the approach. So let's get the start. So we get to NEVIL at 22, then NetView at 14. These are all ATs. They're not at or below, at above, ATs. At flight level 090, 250 on the speed. At 070, 220 on the speed. And then GetMo 6000. That's on the QNH as an altitude, 195 max. Okay, so let's get the ILS. So that's from GetMo. There. So it's heading 263 to establish on the localizer, and then we'll get onto the glide at 6 miles. That's 2,000 feet after GetMo. Standard 3 degrees. That's it. 3 degrees. And our decision altitude is 238. And we need to localize the frequency. So 11135. So we'll do it now. So, and in fact, it's actually already set 1135. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so these two knobs here, the inner and the outer, or the bigger and the smaller, operate the nav frequency here. The standby is on the left and the active is on the right. So you can see that the nav 2 radio set 111.35 on the standby, as is nav 1. So what we want to do first of all is to you can flip between nav 1 and nav 2 by clicking the button. So you click top of this knob here, and at the moment we've just set it to nav 1, and we want to enter the frequency, so we're going to do no, how do you do it? I think that's how you do it. Yeah, so you dial in the frequency, so it's 11135. So I'm not quite sure how. So it's the bigger knob. Scroll the bigger knob to do the larger numbers. We're just capturing flight level 220, and to do the smaller ones, it's maybe this small one here. Yeah, 30. So 11135 we've got set now in the standby. Like the Phenom, we're going to stay in climb until we get to our cruise speed. And to flip between the standby frequency, which you just adjusted, and the active frequency, is just the flip-flop here. We just click that, and we've just switched the active with the standby. So 11135 is now the active nav 1 frequency. That's the ILS runway 23. So staying in climb power until we get to our cruise speed. We could have gone a bit higher, really. Never mind. They're a bit bouncy, isn't it? Maybe we should get them to keep the safety belts on. So where are we? We're just coming up to a turn here at BENIX. So we're now going to AKIKI. Just centre the heading bug by pressing the heading knob. It's called the sync, by the way. Push to sync. So we're just still accelerating, so I'm going to stay in climb power until we're just running out of breath. The maximum speed is 250 on this. You don't go above 250. So this is not the fastest. In fact, as a Cessna citation, it's actually known as the Cessna slowtation. That's true, by the way, the slowtation. So I think that's okay. Let's pull back the throttles and go to cruise power. Cruise, there we go. Got cruise showing CRU, and yeah, it seems to have topped out to 230. That's okay. I'll take that. 350 knots. We've got a 35 knot tailwind. Okay. Now, like the Phenom, this also has VNAV, descent VNAV. So let's get the flight plan showing here. And to do that, we use the keypads here. And in particular this button here, the FPL. So we can click that, and then when we look here we'll see the flight plan, and it tells us where our top of descent is, and it says top of descent 7 minutes 15 seconds. Yeah, do you think we should yeah, let's put the safety belt signs on, I think. Passenger safety switch, there it is. Sorry, mate. Let's just hide the yoke. I'm just going to scroll here because the current waypoint IPATI, sorry, is at the bottom. So I want to see what waypoints are below this. Not above it, below it. So let's get the cursor, and then we just scroll forward on the cursor on the big part of this knob. Here it is. Just do it so your party goes to the top of the screen. There we go. And then we get rid of the cursor. How are we doing? Oh, it's quite bouncy, isn't it? I do love BizJets, I really do. One of my favourite things in flight sim. What's not to like, really? Your own personal BizJet. You've got the baggage compartment in the nose, but also they've got a big one here. I don't know if it's modelled. Probably is. Oh, we're at another waypoint. Let's go back inside and have a look. Right, sync the heading knob. So top descent 4 minutes 55 seconds. So I think you can get charts on this. So Southend, there we go. And I can't get any closer to the screen, so really not much use to me. Let's go. I'm just going to do the same here. I'm going to just scroll so I can see the waypoints below ANGLO. So you do it in the same way. So it's this button here, the big one on the left, big knob. Click it. That makes flash, and then you use the big part of this knob to scroll that waypoint upwards like that. I'm just riding the wheel of the mouse forward. There we go. That'll do. Nicely, like that. And now I'll just switch the blinking cursor off. There we go. So, NEVIL, flight level 220. And then it's NetView at 14, OCVAP 9, ATSAP at 7. And then we'll scroll it through again. So, we'll descend, we'll tell ATC when we're ready to descend.
Golf Air Bravo Sierra, Brest contrôle, expect NEVIL 1 Sierra, runway 23.
NEVIL 1 Sierra, runway 23, Golf Air Bravo Sierra.
Très bien, merci. So it is as planned, a NEVIL 1 Sierra, runway 23 at Southend. That's what we want. So we've got the ILS already programmed in. We haven't got the course programmed in. Actually, we will do that. We can do that now. So I'm going to sync the heading knob. I'm going to go to heading mode. Going to go to change the CDI to localizer 1, which is going to be the ILS. Let's just get the ILS heading 233. I'm going to move that round to 233 using the course knob here. So just hold it down. Oh, come on. 233 we want. I don't know if you can read it. It's shown here. 233. 2625, 24, 23, 231. So 233 we've got set. Then we can go back to FMS and go back to nav mode. Okay. So we just temporarily went on to heading mode. change the source for VOR1, which is going to be the ILS, and then we swap back to nav. Okay, sync the heading bug. And the reference speeds on this it defaults to V something or other. Let's have a look. Let me get down to it. So I want to change that to on Barrow, and it was 233, I think it was. .240. I can't remember how you do the speeds on this. Back to flight plan.
Contact London Control 118.475 Gulf Air Bravo Sierra. Have a good day. London Control, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra. Good day. Flight level 220.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, London Control, radar contact.
Right, so we need
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, NEVIL 1 Sierra, runway 23. Report ready for descent.
NEVIL 1 Sierra, runway 23, call when ready. Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
Okay, so let's just look at the star. So we've just gone past Neville.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, descend to flight level 140.
Descend to flight level 140, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
Okay, so we need to be at net route 140, and it's here, 140. So what we're going to do, we're going to dial in 140 and put VNAV on, and that should, I hope, work. Of course, might not. Don't know if I've missed the top of descent already. I don't think so. .140. We go VNAV. VNAV path. I think this leg is 30 miles. So we've got to lose 8,024. So top of descent should be marked here. Unless I need to do this manually. Just zoom out. I've got top of descent marked there. I think we should come down on our own, really. Let's do that. So we'll go vertical speed mode, and we'll come down 1800 feet per minute, which is shown here. So it's VS, vertical speed. Use the same wheel here as you do for flight level change, and I just need to bring the throttles back so I don't go too fast. So just manually retard the throttles, and that's just to send at the same speed we're flying, about 230. Okay. must have missed the top of descent, but that's okay. I'm using 1800 because it's 1 in 3 really. Yeah, because it's got bottom of descent shown BOD. But I don't think we had top of descent. But that's okay. Oops, I've slowed down a bit too much. Let's go back up to about 230. So we've got 15 or so to run. This arc here is set at 15 at the moment. So 15 to run. Got to lose 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So we'll easily make it. Sync the heading knob. We should get the weather. Let's have a look at the weather at Southend. So we've got 1017 and it's view at 4,900, 20, temperature 2.12, and the wind is from the east, 8 knots. Very little, will be fine. Okay, so NEVIL NetView at 14, then we've got OCVAP at 9. We've got to lose 5,000. 5 times 3 is 15, so we don't really need to start our descent until sort of just past 5-10 miles past Sox. Oops.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, descend to flight level 090.
Descend to flight level 090, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
So we don't need to do that yet. So we're just levelling off at 140. We'll keep up with our speed, so it's still at cruise setting. And we don't need to do a descent until we get past Sox, because we've got to lose 5,000. 5 times 3 is 15. That's about 15 miles. So again, just get the chart out. This leg is 20 miles. This leg is 27 miles. So really 15 miles. You know, nearly halfway between Sox and OCVAP. But heck, let's make it nice and gentle. So 5 miles after Sox we'll start a descent. Just going to scroll the flight plans up a bit. Do the same on this side. Hit that knob and then just scroll it forward. going to zoom out a little bit on that. So we've got a top of descent coming up here. So this time we can use the so we're going to go down to 9,000. And I'll put VNAV path is on. I didn't disable it, it's still on. So hopefully when the aircraft gets to the top of descent it will get us down to OCVAP in good time. That's the theory anyway. So how are we doing? That's Kent over there. Is that Lid-ish? Yeah, nearly, yeah. Not quite actually. That's more Eastbourne, I think. Lid is in our 10-11 o'clock. So up here somewhere. Okay, it started to descend a little bit earlier. I don't know why it's doing that. We'll forgive it because we are very close to the top of descent. Aircraft is going to cross us from our right to left. There he is. Okay, so now we've started our descent. We're accelerating, so it's going to manually adjust the throttles. Don't really want to go too fast. Like this descent is not going to get us down to 9,000 in time, but it has started a little early. Anyway, we'll see what happens. So let's just center the heading bug. Speed up too much. I'm just going to bring the throttles back a tiny bit. Yep. So the moment we get to OCSAP, it's looks like that's the bottom descent, so that's fine. The one after that will be at SAP at 7,000. Just check that on the plate. So OCSAP at SAP, yeah. So that is 2,000 in 30 or so miles. So that's fine. Lots of time. This has got 14 miles to run, their top map. The lid should be in our 9-10 o'clock. Yeah, that's Dungeness down there. Dungeness Power Station, Lighthouse, lid, somewhere here. Excellent place to do circuits, especially in something like this. Just keep winding up the wind and making it a little bit harder for yourself each time. Maybe give it a gust or two, and yeah, that's how you get your skills. Right, so we're in a little bit of turbulence. This aircraft has got phenomenal visibility. Look at that. Big, wide windscreen. A bit like the Vision Jet in that regard. And you can see, you can see your wing. Very lovely visibility. Just deserves more from the developer. And I really hope that they're listening. I haven't got anything against them. I just want them to finish this. It's not right that they have had product out for so long without any attention, because it needs it, and it deserves it. It's lovely. It flies beautifully. So we're just coming down below 10,000. 1,000 to go. I wonder if it's going to make it. It should do. The VNAV's pretty good in these things.
Golf Air Bravo Sierra, contact Southend approach 130.78.
Contact Southend approach 130.78, Golf Air Bravo Sierra. Southend, Golf Air Bravo Sierra, flight level 098 with information Quebec.
Golf Air Bravo Sierra Southend approach. QNH1017, expect the ILS runway 23 with the gateway transition.
QNH1017, expect the ILS runway 23 with the gateway transition. Golf Air Bravo Sierra.
So 400 to lose, and we're just 2 miles to go to OCVAP. So again, VNAV performing very well. HC will get us to descend next to, what did we say, 7,000. But there might be...
Golf Air Bravo Sierra, descend to flight level 070.
Descend to flight level 070, Golf Air Bravo Sierra.
Okay, so flight level 070, 220 on the speed. So we're just about 220 now, so that's okay, but we don't need to be at 220 now. We need to be at 220 at the next waypoint at SAP. But that's okay, we can just stick roughly there. That's okay. Let me just sync the heading bug. What we can do, we can dial in the next altitude, 7,000. Okay. 7,000 we've got. Set and checked. And VNAV path is still armed, so I don't need to do anything, don't need to press it anymore. It's still armed from the very first time I clicked on it, even though that first descent we did manually on vertical speed. But it's always worth checking to make sure that VNAV is active, that the light is on, and that it's indicating. So set and check, set and check, set and check. So I think this is Dover, yeah, Dover. that'll be Manston somewhere in here. If we see it. Somebody released some nice Manston scenery the other day. I haven't installed it yet. There's Challenger 1. And there's a 777. Okay, so descent in 1 minute. Top descent. Quick look at this. This the tray tables work as well. Maybe not. I'm not going to do it now. Anyway, so we should be coming down. There we go. So VNAV path. Down we go. Any second. Pull back the throttles a bit, because if you remember it's 220 at the next waypoint, and that isn't far away, it's only 11 miles away. So, and we can use the speed prediction tape here, the magenta area here, to help us set our speed really accurately with manual throttles. Good. Okay, so bottom of descent 2 minutes. And what's next? So ATSAP, ADVAS. After that, I think we just need to look at that. So we've got ATSAP 220. ADVAS 220, GEGMO 6. So the next altitude would be 6, and we need to be max 195. This thing here has got tiny little speed brakes, and they operate not just on the upper surface, but they also operate on the undersurface. You can see it here. Right there. And on the top, I can't see if there's got enough contrast. So they are there, and I think that's done so that it doesn't affect the pitch too much, because the coupling of this aircraft, if you look at it, the position of the engine, like most BizJets, is above the wing. So when you add or reduce power, it will, the moment will be around the wing, along the lateral axis. So if you've got the speed brakes operating top and bottom, it will diminish the effect of of deploying the spoilers. So you shouldn't get vast pitching moments. Okay, so we are 7,200. Next is 6,000. That is
Bravo Sierra. Descend to 4,000 feet. View and H1017.
4,000.
Descend to 4,000 feet. QNH 1017 Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
Interesting. Okay, well, let's just check the plate. GEGMU is at 6,000. It wants me to go down to 4,000. Is there a reason for that? GEGMU. So, okay. So we'll do 4,000. We'll do this manually. $4,000 set and checked. Don't get too slow. And we'll just start a very gentle manual descent. So vertical speed, we'll roll the wheel forward, we'll come down maybe at, I think the next speed was 195, so again, I don't want to try and go too fast. So 500 feet per minute, 1,000 feet per minute, and we're just coming back to 195, although we don't need to be at 195 quite yet. GEGMU, we need to be at 195. So I missed Manston, never mind. So we're coming into some icy condition, some cloud build up. So the outside air temperature is 7. Oh, 6. No, 7. No, 6. Yeah. Let's get a bit of engine anti-ice on just while we're in the cloud. Need to center my heading bug. Speed is nicely on about 195. It's a bit early for 195, but heck, we're not in a hurry. We're just enjoying the flight. Not very heavy clouds, so maybe we'll stay without anti-icing. It's above 0, but that doesn't mean that there's no icing. It's 6 degrees now, so it's actually getting cold as we go down. That's very odd. So I'm going to reduce this now to about 800 feet per minute. So we seem to be below the cloud layers, so I think we got away with that without putting anti-icing on. There's Essex. So we can go to an altitude now.
Clear direct GEGMU. Cross GEGMU at or above 4,000 feet. Cleared ILS runway 23.
Cleared direct GEGMU. Cross GEGMU at or above 4,000 feet. Cleared ILS runway 23 Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
So 1017 is set. Just center sync the heading bug. And we're clear direct GEGMU, which we're going to anyway. And we ought to cross that at or above 4,000. So we're just coming up to 4,000 now on the QNH. That's correct, and we are about 190 on the speed. So that's what we want. Sync the heading bug. Okay, altitude captured. How far to GEGMU? 10 miles. Okay. Cleared ILS. Cross GEGMU at 4,000. And then do we go lower? After GEGMU? At Tripo 4. There it's 3. I don't know, to be honest. We'll see what they say. I would expect to get down to 2,000. 9 miles. 9 miles is here. So maybe trip at 4 and then descend to 2. Oops, a bit slow. Don't go that slow. We're in a jet at the end of the day, come on. Did about 180. Okay. So it's got 2 stages to flap, unlike the Phenom which has got 4. And when we get to Gegmo, we will descend to 2,000. We will slow down to 160, I think, 150. And we'll go on the heading bug so we can get the ILS dialed, the course CDI on the VOR. Sorry, let me start that again. We get the CDI on the ILS. So Gegmu 3.5 to run. Let's dial in 2,000. Zoom in a bit on that map. Use that knob there. There we go. So about 180 on the speed, that'll do. Gegmo is in half a mile. And we're going to turn and start our descent. There we go, turning now. So vertical speed mode. No, not too fast. We'll centre our heading bug. Heading bug is centred. We'll go to heading mode. So we're on heading mode, set and checked. Change your CDI to the ILS. And then we'll do approach, which is there. So we'll arm the approach. The localizer is established and it's actually captured it already. So it's now turning to intercept the localizer. We're descending to 3,000. We're below the glide slope because you've got the green here. But we're descending to 2,000 anyway. So we're good. So we're going to descend to that heading knob, the heading bug. And I'll just let the airplane come down. Maybe 160 on the speed. Alright, so it's captured on 2,000, or capturing on 2,000. Just fully established now. Report established on
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, established on
AKIKI.
final approach.
Golf Air Bravo Sierra, affirm.
Okay, so we haven't got clearance to land, so we're not going to put our landing lights on yet. We'll stick at about 160. I think we're below flat limiting speed, so we can actually go flap 1. So flap 1 coming out. we'll do that while we're still going downhill. Let's have a look. So we don't balloon. So the wind farms down here, and runways in the distance. It's fantastic, isn't it? Let's look at this. Right, 150 on the speed. No slower than that. Give it a bit of wheelie, and we'll go gear down, full flaps when we establish on the glide. We're just going to look out for the glide. The diamond is going to be here. It's not live yet. We're going to stick at 150, and we're going to fly the ILS and
Golf Air Bravo Sierra. Contact Southend Tower 127.73.
Over to Tower 127.73, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra. Southend Tower, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, ILS runway 23.
Gulf Air Bravo Sierra, Southend Tower, wind 310 at 5, runway 23 cleared to land.
clear to land.
Runway 23 cleared to land, Gulf Air Bravo Sierra.
So clear to land, that means we can get our landing lights on. Passenger signs, we need to be fully configured on the final approach fix, but we'll just wait a moment or two before we get the before we do that. Get the here it comes, right, as if on cue. Only about a mile to go before we get to the glide. Okay, so we'll be fully configured by the time that diamond gets to the middle. So okay, so we're 1 dot away from the glide. So gear is down, get 3 greens, then we'll get full flaps. 3 greens, full flaps. Full flaps we have. Have a quick look outside. There we go, full flaps. Gear down, 1 way ahead. Okay, so we'll come down the ILS about 110, something like that. Okay, so we're fully established now. We're on the localizer, on the glide, and I mustn't forget to switch off the yaw damper when I do the autopilot. Okay. After landing it will be an exit to the left. Okay, so again, this is the view you want. You've got your primary flight display with all the information you need. Okay, you haven't got to move your eyes too far, maybe onto a different screen or something. It's all here on one screen, and we're just keeping the runway in the same position, but it's the autopilot at the moment that's doing that. But I'll go manual, switch the yaw damper off. Okay, and I will do the same. I'll keep the runway in the same position in the window, and that means that we will get to it. And we've got this very useful little vector indicator here, which will tell us where we will be. So you can keep that on the runway and you're going to get to the runway. So about 110, and we'll get down to about 90 knots over the numbers. So just trying to follow the flight director. And it just handles like a dream, this airplane. They've got it completely right, I feel. It just deserves more. Okay, it really does. So 107 on the speed, and we'll bleed that back a little bit shortly. And as we touch down, I'll deploy the speed brakes to help us slow down. So 108 on the speed, 107. What's the wind? So slight wind from the right to left. So I anticipate that just by aiming at the right hand side of the runway, I can drift across to the middle. Matter of pride to land on the middle. So 106. Just going to reduce speed a tiny bit now. Okay. Lovely. Squeeze your jet there. Okay, speed breakers out, and we'll start our braking. Okay, so we should be able to exit
Golf
to
Air
the
Bravo
right.
Sierra, exit left at Charlie.
Exit right. Start
Exit
that
left
again.
at Charlie. Golf Air Bravo
Charlie's
Sierra.
just here. There's the church. Okay, and round we go. We'll get to the other side of the hold. And then we'll stop and clean up. Okay. I'm not sure where you park private jets at Southend. I'm sure we'll find somewhere though. So let's clean up so flaps can come up. We'll just have a look at the spoilers. They're still out. You see? They're on the top and bottom. Both wings. See? Put them up. There we go. Great fun. Right, so anti-collision, taxi light, and we can get rid of non-essentials. Pitter heat, we don't want that anymore. Off. I don't know where they park these things at Southend. We'll just use the bay, I think, the closest bays. Yeah, I think here would be good. Let's see if we get ushered in by one of these gentlemen on the left. So we won't blind them, we'll just switch our taxi light off. And is he going to usher me in? I think he might do. I think it's looking hopeful. Alright, so let's just aim towards this chappie here. Oops, I've overcooked that turn. Go right a bit. Oh, has he got? He's got scared. I feel it's a little unnecessary. But anyway, let's he's gone. He's run away. He's evaporated. Maybe I got him with my landing light. Melted him. Right. Parking brake is on. And we'll cut the throttles. 2, 1. Beacon can come off. Passenger signs can come off. Then we can do fuel pumps off. And we can open the door. I think you do it there. And we can put this on, and you know what, it's really odd because that same Rolls Royce is there again. How did that happen? I have no idea. Magic. No, I don't think he's modelled the rear cargo hatch, but there is a nice big cargo compartment somewhere in there in the tail, and I think his Rolls Royce is a bit beat up, isn't it? But anyway, it's nice to have it there. So there we go. We're now at Southend, and I hope you've enjoyed that. So I will see you all on the next one. Bye now.